Why don't we end this season on an up note? After everything we've gone through, Raider Nation, let's beat those Chiefs. Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric, and we are live, as we normally are, on a Friday evening. This is our finale, Week 18, of course. We will not be going to the playoffs this year, of course, with the Raiders. We're going to be covering a game preview against our hated rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs. Can we spoil them? We looked pretty good last week against the 49ers. Of course, there's going to be a lot to play for the Chiefs as well. Given everything that has happened, we can talk about that with the Buffalo game and what they're going to be doing now as far as the playoffs on the AFC side. It's really kind of messed up. But I want to say hello to you. I see a few of you out here already. How you doing? So this is what we do. We have our game preview. I'm going to give you 4 keys to the game that we need to do. I feel we need to do to win the game. 2 on offense, 2 on defense. And if you are new here, this is how we normally roll it. We have what we call the rundown, and that is right. We have our individual categories, and then at the end, as usual, we have our question and answer segment where you can come on. It is the opening comment in TikTok. I am simulcasting on TikTok and YouTube at the same time, and it is also the pinned comment on YouTube. In addition, on the YouTube side, I have a poll during this live stream. You can check that out as well. And let's get right to that. And that is our champions. That's you guys.
I hear everyone say it. Take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
That's right. I always like to check out the champion count. And that's you guys supporting this channel now on the YouTube side. As I've said before, not a lot of support on the YouTube side. We're going to be changing some things with this channel on the YouTube side. TikTok side has been growing and growing normally, and I appreciate every single one of you who come to this, not only on the live streams, but if you can't catch the lives, you come back and watch the replays. But if you can catch the lives, why not like and subscribe right now? Hit that bell notification. If you're on TikTok side, follow, so that way you'll be notified of all my future live streams. With that, let's get on to what we normally do, and that is during the week we have a poll of the week, a Raider poll of the week. I want to ask you guys something. What did you guys want to see as far as content going on in the future? Now, I called it the Champion's Choice. That's you guys. What would you like to see? And the majority of you just wanted this channel to be a Raiders only channel. Not so sure I'm going to do that, but I will take that into consideration. I do appreciate each and every one of you who did vote in this polling. Gives me some information. Some of you also said Raiders and NFL. I might also go into a little bit of fantasy football and some other things. I see you in here, Dominique. What's up to you? How are you doing tonight? We're going to be going over this game review against the hated rival Chiefs right now.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
Now, like we normally do, we have what we call our injury report. Basically, the only injury report on our side is Butler. Sky Moore is out as well on the Chiefs side. Everybody else is going to be active, and I'm not thinking that the injuries are going to be a main factor in this one. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you 2 keys to the game. Of course, the first one is going to be pretty obvious. It's Patrick Mahomes, #1 rated quarterback by PFF. Absolute stud. And it's not just what he can do, it's what he can do in trouble and pressure. And I was looking through this past season, this past few games, and I wanted to see some trends. I wanted to see, well, what metrics do we have to take a look at to where this Chiefs team actually loses, and given how Mahomes plays. Now, this is what I came up with as far as a goal. I came up with, I want to hit the benchmark would be 100 on the QB rating, 60% completion rate, and only max 2 touchdowns. Now, I came to this because the 2 touchdown rate will work backwards. When he gets more than 2 touchdowns this year, he's undefeated. He's 8-0. They're 13-3 right now. So that tells you they are 5-3 when he throws 2 touchdowns or less. The QBR rating, he is 9-0. The Chiefs are 9-0 when he is over that magical 100 QBR. 3-3 when he's under. The 60% completion rate, which ties into the QBR, it has other things as well. Their Chiefs are 10-1 when he is 60% or greater completion rate. Only 2-2 when he's under. So those are the kinds of things. And how do we do that? Rush him, make him throw poor throws, not let him have wide open throws to Kelsey and that. Now, as a matter of fact, the second key to the game is not going to be Travis Kelsey. I talked about this before. Travis Kelsey is a stud. He got 4 touchdowns last game. They only won by 1 point. So, and that's because we went for 2. We could have very well went into overtime. Who knows what would have happened. So I've seen it where Kelsey can have a great game. That's not necessarily indicative of whether or not we're going to win or lose the game. So I'm going to go with the newcomer here. And that is McKinnon here. And this guy, he was a beast in Minnesota as far as not running the ball, but catching the ball out of the flat. This guy has been amazing this year. The last 4 games, he has got over 250 receiving yards. He's got 500 for the year. And, by the way, he's got 7 touchdowns in the last 4 games, receiving touchdowns. So, and we do not cover the running back in the flat or short passes very well at all. This could be even a worse case for us than even Mahomes, if you can believe it. I'm saying as far as the benchmark goes, keep him at 60 receiving yards or under and only give him 1 receiving touchdown. If he gets any more than that, that's going to be showing that this defense is in big trouble, and we're going to have to lean heavily on our offense to win this game. And of course, if you are enjoying this, if you're enjoying the program, give it a thumbs up right now. Give it a like on your way in or a like on your way out. I appreciate that. But also subscribe. That way you'll be notified of all of our future live streams. And of course, we're going to be doing one last one for the season. That's right. We're going to be going on live tomorrow at halftime of the game. Game time starts at about 1:30 Pacific time. So that means we'll be on at halftime for about 10-15 minutes starting at about 3 o'clock. And we go over what I call the good, bad, and the ugly of the first half. I also go over these keys to the game and see how we're trending with that. We have a lot of fun with this, and I encourage you all to come out. Maybe we'll even see a Casey Hefe sighting.
I hear everyone say it, take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
Now on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to talk about this, our 2 keys to the game. This one should not be very much of a surprise. And of course, number 1 is Josh Jacobs. Now the Chiefs are pretty good defensively at stopping the run. I think they're ranked 9th in a per game rushing yard basis. Now, Josh Jacobs and this team as a whole got over 125 yards last week against the Niners, who came into the season only giving up 75 yards per game. I want to see 150 rushing yards here. I'd like to see at least 7 rushing first downs and at least 1 touchdown on the ground with Josh Jacobs. I think if we can get that formula going, Stidham had a great game last week. I don't want to keep leaning on that. Not only that, this Chiefs front 4 is nothing to sneeze at. Their corners are pretty good. He can be exposed here. I think we lean on this running game. We're going to be at home in the Dome. I want to get some momentum going in this game, and I think we start with Josh Jacobs. Now, my second key to the game, of course, is Jarrett Stidham. Now, he had a great game last week, over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions. I'm not necessarily going to blame him for those interceptions, given what happened, the deflection, and then he got hit as he threw on that second one. But I'm looking at this, at least 250 passing yards and 0 turnovers. Now, he had some bad luck on the turnover side this time. I'm going to look at it this way. You're not going to have those bad luck games every game, so he has to play on point. And he played pretty well overall in the game, a few errant throws, but as a whole, pretty well. He's staying at home again. This should be a little bit easier of a comparison, an actual matchup than the 49ers defense. to me, the 49ers defense is arguably the best one in the league. And I think the offensive line learned a lot, except for maybe Colton Miller. I think he had a very poor game. The rest of them did adequately to not too bad. So I think if Stidham can keep the turnovers at a minimum, I'm saying 0, maybe even 1 turnover we could stand. But that means we're going to have to get some turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. I can't really see us doing that. We don't get a whole lot of turnovers as it is. It's going to be difficult to sack Mahomes in this game because he's very wiry and he can get the ball off sidearm, 3/4, 1/4, underhand throws. Kind of takes that from his daddy, a former Major League Baseball player. Now, as far as my prediction goes, I think we can spoil the Chiefs in this game. Now, given this whole situation, hey, Alex Ghost, I see you there. How you doing? I think the Chiefs are going to be on fire right now. This whole Buffalo-Cincinnati, they canceled the game. So basically, they're going to play it at a neutral site if the Chiefs and Bills end up in the AFC Championship game, which I don't really understand because Buffalo beat them head-to-head. They should play that game over. They're not going to. The NFL is screwed up. That said, the Chiefs can still get that first seed. If they win, Buffalo loses. And I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win this game 34-30. I cannot trust this defense as far as I can throw them. I think the offensive side the Chiefs defense can be had much more than the 49ers defense. However, again, how do we stop Mahomes? How do we stop Kelsey? And like I said, Kelsey can have a big game. That's not necessarily meaning that we're going to win or lose. We've seen that before when we've won games that can be close. I'm worried about Jerick McKinnon. He's going to be the X factor in this game because we cannot cover a running back to save our lives. And he is arguably one of the very best, right along with Christian McCaffrey, at catching the ball. But I want to know what you have to say. Of course, put them in the comments. Put your score predictions in the comments if you're watching on TikTok or if you're watching on YouTube or on a replay. Put them in the comments. I read the comments. I might respond, especially if there's a good joke involved. I like to do that as well. So I might even pin your comment as the top comment if it's a really good comment during the live stream. So again, come on out and join us. Put your comments right now. We're going to talk about this. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. I see Al's Ghost, of course. My regulars. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. I'm going to be moving this up right here. There we go. Messing with a little bit of a green screen. However, with my iPad here, that's creating additional issues, obviously. So I'm going to be moving this up just a little bit. I want to say how you guys are doing tonight. Looks like I have some weird thing on my head now. So let me take care of that right now. So put your predictions into the comment section right now, and also you can vote. You can vote right now. I have a voting poll on the YouTube side, and I asked, what are you most concerned about this game? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Is it Travis Kelce? Is it Stidham regressing? Or something else? And you can put it in the comments. Al's Ghost says 28-24 Raiders. Okay. That could happen. The only thing I can really complain about with that is how do we keep them to only 28 points? I don't know about that. The way this defense is played, do we even have corners that can cover anybody? Not so much, to be honest with you. Psycho Jackal, qu'est-ce que c'est? I see you in here. What's up? I see you in here. I see some more people coming in on the TikTok side. So let's see. If you guys want to come on, we'll get the chat room going if you want. We can talk about this game. We can talk about what's going to be happening going forward with the channel. Some I'm planning. Of course, you're not new. If you've been here a while, we do things like we're going to do a schedule review, an early schedule review. We'll do a final season review. I'll take a look at some of the stats and see what we have to say about that. go over our schedule predictions, and we'll take a look at 2023. We already know the teams that we are going to be playing in the season. It's just a matter of who we're playing. It's the AFC East next year. And let's see. It's like there's some kind of connection issue. What's going on with that? 50-28 Raiders, says Psycho Jackal. Oh, whoa. Wow. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? That would be great. I would love that. Again, it's hard for me to sum up 20 points to the Chiefs. Let me see. Boop. Let me take this off. The problem I'm having with this is the iPad is messing with this. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna take this off. 50-20. I don't know about that. Could we score 50 points on them? Absolutely. I like that part. The 28 points. It's hard for me to think we're only going to score 28 points. Let's take that off. All right. So anyway, I'm messing with the screen I got. The problem is my iPad, it was working pretty well in the rehearsals. The iPad is kind of, I think because it's kind of shiny, if I'm going to continue to do the simulcast on TikTok, I'm going to have to get a Chrome key or something because it's not going to be a problem. Oh, there's a bad connection. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, what a shock. YouTube with a bad connection, huh? Wow, unbelievable. Doesn't surprise me one single bit, to be honest with you. Let's see if I'm having any problems on the TikTok side. Let's see. I don't know. It might be on my side. Let me see. What's up, Henry? Chillin', I see you. How you doing out there? I see a lot of people out here. So anyway, so some of the things we're going to talk about, we're going to do a season review probably next weekend or next Friday. We'll do that. Just check out how we stood, and then we'll go over our predictions. I mean, I took a bath. We all kind of took a bath given how we finished. I thought we were going to get 11 games. That's not going to happen, obviously. So be lucky if we go 10 or 7-10. We were 10-7 last year. So let's see. Hope the cats aren't chewing on the connections. So I'm looking at TikTok side to see if I'm having similar issues. So that would say it's on my side and not the YouTube side. Not quite sure. I'm not getting any issues on the TikTok side. Usually if you have something on the TikTok side, it'll pop up. That's what's happening right now. I'm wondering why I'm having issues now, YouTube. Absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'm not seeing anything on the TikTok side showing me I'm having any issues. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. I wanted to, I have my modem and server in the other room. I wanted to see if I had any issues because I was doing a little bit of moving around. I moved into this new place. Got a new couch. Wanted to move it around. I haven't had any issues, online, movies, YouTube, watching stuff. So I didn't see an issue with it. It doesn't show as a bad connection. I'm not seeing any issues on the TikTok side. Any complaints from them, other than the focusing issue because they won't give me a Chrome key and I have to do this kind of in a ghetto format. So I'm going to chalk this one up to YouTube. I'm going to chalk it up to YouTube again. Messing around with the channel. Again, not promoting the channel, not even helping it to naturally grow. It's one of the things I'm going to be doing, probably setting up a VPN and setting up a brand new channel. I'll give you links to that. And that way, maybe I'll get a fair shake on YouTube. If not, then I'll just move on because it's not really working. I mean, I've had the same amount of net subs for about a month or two now. So, and then you get this connection bullshit going on with the channel. I'm looking right now. I'm looking at TikTok. I've had connection issues before at my old place. They had to rewire some stuff. This is a new place, a new business, internet service provider. I'm on fiber optic now. I'm looking on the TikTok side because when I was having issues on both sides, it would give me error messages on both sides. I'm not getting it on the TikTok side. I'm only seeing it on the YouTube side. So it doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Gonna mess with the green screen some more, of course. I think that's kind of a way to go. I'm not sure if I'll simulcast on TikTok though. Unfortunately, that's gonna mess up the green screen. So I'm gonna have to go one way or the other, to be honest with you. So let's see. I'm not sure if we got any. Is there anybody out here? Give me a shout out on the YouTube side because I'm not seeing anybody. I'm wondering if it's kicking you guys out because of the connection issues. So if it's connecting people, it's going to screw up the live stream anyway. What else is new? I mean, come on. So, all right, I'm going to pull this up on my. Hopefully we don't get any reverberation. Let's see. You can hear me. It looks like it's doing all right now. It's only showing one in here on mine, but then I'm logged in as another channel on my phone device, and it's showing okay. So I'm taking a look at it. It's looking okay. I don't know. It's just one more thing from YouTube, There you go. That's what you get. YouTube, thank you for nothing. Thank you for basically nothing. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about. If you want to talk about the game and you're still here, thank you. Giving you a huge shout out, especially on the YouTube side, considering the problems, inherent problems with this platform and how they only push the ones they want to push and they don't push the other ones. And then the other ones get put down at the bottom of the pile, literally. So, and now there's connection issues. Okay. Checking out my connection. My connection's just fine. So, again, if you're here, thank you very much for coming. I'm looking right now, and I'm not on Wi-Fi on my phone because I want to see how it's working. I want to see what you guys are seeing. And just taking a look at it right now. So, I don't know. Anyway, if you're on here still, thank you very much. Put your comments in here. If you want to come on live, we can try it right over here. I put the link in the pin comment. You come into the green room. I let you in. You can talk. You don't have to be on camera, of course. You can sound off. You want to talk about the 49er game last week. You want to talk about the Chiefs this week. You want to talk about what happened in Buffalo with Hamlin and what the league is doing about this and the craziness that's going to be the AFC playoffs because of it. Cincinnati's not happy, obviously. I'm not happy. I basically lost my fantasy league because I had Gabe Davis and I needed like 5 points to win. Not guaranteed he would get it, but shit, I mean, replayed the game. So no, I'm screwed. Thank you, Roger Goodell, you piece of shit. Thank you, YouTube, you piece of shit, as usual, messing everything up. Maybe, it says it's good now, huh? If I bitch enough, maybe I'll get a good connection from you guys, YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to mess with the green screen some more probably later on as we go. Probably won't be able to do TikToks. Maybe not lives with that. It's funny because I actually get more push from the YouTube side anyway, except when we do the halftime shows. When we do the halftime shows, a lot of people come in here on the TikTok side. It's kind of crazy. And I don't need the Grossi Posse to do it either. It's organic. So appreciate that. Let's see. We're already 27 minutes in. And this happens sometimes. Sometimes it's on my end. Like in my old place, I had some problems. I had to have the people come in, Spectrum, fix it. They fixed it. I was having some problems with the upload side. You could download things but not upload. This isn't an issue. This shouldn't be an issue. This isn't an issue on my side. I'm still looking here on my phone. I'm looking on the TikTok. So I'm on the YouTube live stream on my phone, like watching it from another channel. I'm on the TikTok live stream looking at it to see if it's giving me any error issues. Like I said, I've seen before. Let's see. Raider 7528 says, I want to talk after the KC game. Let's see if Stidham was a fluke or do we need to draft a quarterback in round one. I think we need to draft a quarterback anyway. As we get closer to the draft, we'll look at it. Maybe Richardson will be available. Big kid. I've been starting to look at the quarterbacks now. Where we draft right now, I believe we're at the 8th spot. So the top 3 guys are probably going to be gone. So I would Young, CJ Stroud, and Levis. Looks like Levi's jeans. People are comparing him to Josh Allen. I'm not so sure. Maybe physically. But he threw a ton of interceptions the last few games. So do we really want that? I think those guys are going to be gone anyway. I think Houston's locked up the number 1 pick, I believe. They're definitely going to draft a quarterback. I think they would be foolish not to. We got a few other teams. We got Carolina ahead of us. Indianapolis is ahead of us. It's funny because Jeff Saturday and the brand new offensive coordinator beats our team, and they're like 4-11 now, 4-11-1 or some bullshit. So they're ahead of us. They're all in the market for a quarterback. I hope we don't go pay a bunch of money for like Lamar Jackson. I think not as bad as Russell Wilson, but I think his best days are behind him. And I don't want to pay for his injury policy. That's basically what it's going to be. I would be shocked if we get a full 17-game season out of Lamar Jackson if we get him, especially with this line. He's going to be running. He's going to be running for his life. He's going to be running every other play. Not really impressed with his passing ability. He's okay. Not great. I think the dual threat is better there. I think Justin Fields has a much more upside to his career being a dual threat type quarterback than Lamar. So you do want to talk? I will be on. I'll be on tomorrow. Let's see, it's going to be about 3:00 p.m. Pacific time. The game starts at 1:30, so we go on at halftime, and then probably Sunday night I'll come on and do the final game review of what happened. You can come on if you want. Oh, Al's Ghost, thank you for reminding me you are backstage. Let's see what you got. Let's get Al's Ghost in here. How you doing tonight?
Hey, champ, how's it going?
Hey, I hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
Awesome. I just had a quick comment actually on the Damar Hamlin situation, and I want to preface what I'm going to say by first, stating that, I'm really happy that his health seems to be on the up and up, and it was really, really tragic what happened on Monday night, and you never want to see that on a football field. I think player health and safety is first and foremost, the most important thing in a game. And ultimately, football is a form of entertainment, right? And you never want to see someone get hurt or much less, lose their life on the football field.
Absolutely.
That being said, I just want to, that being said, to put it bluntly, if the Raiders had suffered a similar situation, I just want to put this on record. You best believe that this game would have been played. You have a situation in which the Bengals have an up-and-coming quarterback in Joe Burrow, who appeared in the Super Bowl last year. And now you have Josh Allen, also one of the media darlings, who's obviously the quarterback for the Bills. And I just, I don't want to think this way. Like, I don't want to think in a sort of that the Raiders or that the NFL, if one of these teams involved the Raiders, you best believe that this game would have been played. And now you have a situation in which two playoff teams effectively had another bye week because they didn't finish the game and they didn't complete the game. I think that the NFL should actually play the game for a variety of reasons, but primarily in order to preserve the fairness and equity across the board with all the different teams. One thing that they could do is actually get sure that every team plays a 17-game season. I think it's important to preserve the competitive nature, the equitable nature of the competition. But that's just like my general comment, champion. I don't agree with the NFL's decision to essentially skip this game, and it's actually possible to have the AFC Championship game home side be decided by the flip of a coin. And we're in 2023 now. We should be beyond flipping coins, and the game should be decided on the football field. Again, let me reiterate, Damar Hamlin should be the focus. I think all of us are happy that his health is preserved and is on the up and up, but I do believe that the game should be played.
Okay. Yeah, as far as that goes, I'll give you my take on it. Yeah, of course it's tragic. You don't want to see that. That kind of goes without saying, but from a league standpoint, let's think about this. Was there something that could have been done differently as far as a game standpoint? Is there something definitive? Are the helmets breaking off? It's kind of like the Ford Pinto when you hit it in the back and it blew up back in the 70s because the fuel tank line wasn't on very well, and if you hit it, it'll pop loose and the gas. Is there something to that hit, that situation, that there's an equipment issue, there's a this issue, there's a that issue? To me, I didn't see it. I saw a freak play. Now, some people, you can speculate on what happened and why. I'm going to leave that alone. I've already had enough trouble with YouTube regarding what, all that stuff. So that said, again, I do not see anything definitive. If they were going to do a mandate like that, why not Tua? Why not Tua? Tua's out again with another concussion. This is 3 times now. They've done him dirty, and they had a protocol. That's where it is. This is a freak accident. It sucks, and all that. And no, I wouldn't wish that on them. Don't get me wrong. But as far as a league goes and saying, well, is there something inherently unsafe about this? It wasn't a kickoff thing where they could say, well, we're just going to get rid of kickoffs the rest of the season and reevaluate it and just give you the ball on 30-yard line to start. They could do so. It wasn't that. It was just a catch, and he got hit in the chest. freak thing. It wasn't a dirty play. T. Higgins didn't hit him dirty or anything. Or T. Higgins kind of hit him. T. Higgins caught the ball, of course. He's a safety. But there wasn't anything inherently dirty or bad about the play. And frankly, that could happen on any single play. So we don't play this game, but we're going to play a whole slate of these other games, and that's okay. Because why? Because it's not on the Cincinnati field? Is it cursed? I know some people talk about that with Antonio Brown and Shazier, and Tua had a concussion on there in one of the games too. I don't believe in that. I don't think that was caused by the field. And if so, then you say, well, go play at a neutral location. Then, if you really, there's no root cause to this. This is a freak thing that could have happened at any time. So then you shouldn't play any of the games if you're going to do that. My fantasy considerations aside, again, this doesn't make any sense. I heard that they could even take the 1 through 7 and almost do like a weighted draft lottery, and maybe the 7th seed could get home field throughout. I heard crazy stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but and then you have the Buffalo Bills. Remember, it was 7-3 Cincinnati.
I also heard.
Go ahead.
Yeah, champion. I also heard that there was a possibility of the NFL considering adding another seed to each conference, so having 8 seeds. So that was another possibility that was contemplated by the NFL. I was also going to say, because I think you touched on something that was like really important, like why are we skipping this game and we're playing the other ones? And I think at the heart of that argument is all of us have to be very, very honest with ourselves when it comes to contact sports like football, MMA, boxing, etc. And realize that these sports are inherently dangerous. And so when you have commissioners, league officials, spokespersons, etc., talking about how the health and safety of players is first and foremost the most important thing, I don't buy it. I don't think that it's genuine, because frankly, the most important thing is to have this product out there on our TV screens, on our tablets, on our computers, on our cell phones, and everywhere we look in order to generate money. And there's only so much that science can do in order to make these contact sports safe. So I think as consumers of this game and of various other sports, I'm an avid boxing fan. I watch a whole host of other sports. These sports are inherently dangerous, and for the NFL or for any other league to make statements, which I understand they have to do for PR reasons, and say, hey, you know what, health and safety of these players is first and foremost the most important thing. It is not. The most important thing is to preserve the integrity of the league, the profitability of the league. It's not for these players. So I think we should just be really honest with ourselves and realize that, hey, what we're watching is frankly a violent sport. And the NFL does not like to use that word and to make the sport less violent. But at its heart, the origins of American football are rugby. And these sports, rugby and other related sports, are inherently dangerous, they're physical, and they're ultimately violent. And I think we need to accept that fact. Again, I'm not saying that what happened to DeMar Hamlin should happen, or it's something that should happen on any field, not just a football field, but on any sport. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think we just need to be very honest with ourselves and realize that what we're watching is a violent sport. By analogy, I'll say this, champ. If I'm going into, a movie theater to watch, Friday the 13th, and I walk out of the movie theater scared and unable to sleep as like a 12-year-old kid, well, I knew that I was going to go watch a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between, me walking into going to watch, Pixar Cars as opposed to going and watching a rated R movie. So
Exactly.
we need to just be honest with ourselves. When we're watching football, we are watching a violent sport. Anyways, I'll get off my
Oh,
my soapbox.
I agree, and I think initially the NFL handled it well. I mean, he literally kind of died on the field, right? They had to give him CPR and all that, and they suspended the game right there. I mean, players on both sides, everybody's freaked out. I get that, but then you're going to be going out next week and playing it against other opponents. So, I don't understand this. If they wanted to stop seriously injured, if they wanted to stop and take a look at it for a day or two, take a look at the angles. Was there something? Was like you said, chop blocks? They've done this before. Hits to the head. That wasn't a case here. Analyze it. Is there something that they could put a rule in or do something to minimize or eliminate that problem? That's great. This to me, this was a freak thing. This was a freak accident, a freak incident, and like you said, this is inherently violent. This is like stuntmen, right?
That's what it was, yeah.
Where movies, they have all the precautions. Still, things happen. Things happen. They get hurt. Sometimes they get killed. Okay, it happens. That's to me, like you said, that's part of the job. It sucks, but it's a business on violence. I know they don't like that, but I mean, they know. They also know if they did two-hand touch, nobody's going to watch it. So, they have to play the game. Same thing with CTE. I think CTE is a much bigger issue than we're getting back to the Tua thing. Uh, this one time thing. Was it possibly a reaction because they dropped the ball with the Tua situation? Maybe. Did they go too far? I do. I think they do. I think they went too far. I think they should have played this game. What I think should have happened was they should have had the Week 18 slate of games, and then had a bye week, because they basically got a bye week right here, like you said. Have everybody else have a bye week here, and take away that extra week between the Super Bowl, right? Or they might not want to, but that way you can keep the continuity of having the same date and all that. They got to keep that. Take away that bye week between the conference championships and the Super Bowl. Have it then, and have Buffalo and Cincinnati play in that game. I mean, Buffalo is the number one seed. They beat Kansas City head to head. Now they got to play this rinky-dink bullshit game with the NFL coin flipping or a neutral. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. They've earned that, and they should play the game. And if they win, then they should get that number one seed, and they should have home field throughout up there in Buffalo. Have Kansas City, if they make it that far, go and play Buffalo. That's the way it should be. Not this rinky-dink bullshit that's going on. And like you said, it's ruining the game. It's ruining the integrity game. I talked about this being rigged. I'm not going to say that in and of itself gives credence to it being rigged, but things are just kind of chipping away at the legitimacy of this league. If they could just play games at neutral sites for what's the point of the playoffs? What's the point of winning your division or being the conference leader? What's the point of that if you get a team like Las Vegas, if we were to win, and go up to Buffalo, play in 5-degree snow weather? I mean, of course there's advantage to that, and if they earn it, they should get it. So, what do you think about? Do you have any other thoughts on that, or you want to talk about the Chiefs game coming up with the Raiders?
Yeah, no, I think you raised some interesting points there, Champ. I think for sure this game should be played. Just to reiterate one of my earlier points, this also functions as a quasi additional bye week for both the Bengals and the Bills, which then puts the other playoff teams at a disadvantage because the other playoff teams played a full slate of 17 games. And I think that's unfair to the other playoff teams for that additional reason there. You have two teams who played 16, and then you have these other teams who played 17. And it wasn't like, hey, we were deep into the third quarter or late in the fourth. This was like the middle of the first quarter. So effectively, the game wasn't really played. And so I think that the game should be played. I think that the NFL is not resuming the game primarily because of, I guess, a couple of reasons. One is logistical, but then the other one is it's also PR. I think PR is huge for the NFL, and I'm sure you saw every every team's Twitter account switch over to the Pray for Damar, avatar, which I'm all in favor for, and I've been, saying that on some other live streams this week. But the NFL is very, very concerned about its image. And I think that the NFL needs to be honest with the public that the product that they're putting out on the field is, I mean, this sounds kind of extreme, but they're effectively trying to say that a rated R movie is really PG to the public, and that's not really what it is. And they've tried to make it less and less like a rated R movie, right, over the years, but it's still at its core the origins of football are violent, and I think we just need to accept that as consumers.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because a lot of films and producers will try to push maybe an R-rated movie and work with the MPAA to cut what they need to cut to get to that PG-13 because they make some more money. There are more people go to those movies than R-rated movies in general to get more bucks. So it's a valid point. But also, I talked about Buffalo with top seed, but also Cincinnati involved here. They win the Buffalo game. They're sitting in the driver's seat for the division. You get at least one home game. Now they got to play Baltimore. Who knows what's going to happen now? Could Baltimore win the division? Could they be out in the cold and have to go on the road somewhere in the first round? The whole thing just stinks because I could see if it was like Houston and the Raiders. You could say that because neither team's going to go in. Maybe draft considerations at best. No one's going to give a shit if you play that game or not at this point of the season. You have the number 1 seed and at the time the number 3 seed. Give me a break with this nonsense. And you're not going to play the game. I think the PR. I think that I more and more feel that this is a backlash from how they handled the Tua situation. So shitty. So they dropped the ball on that.
For sure.
The week 1, he has a back injury bullshit. And then he got slung down. I don't blame the guy slinging him down. He's elusive. You got to try to get him down. That's part of the game. It's violent. It's part of the game. Hurt himself again. He's doing all the craziness. They knew the first time and they let him play. It's like Jaws. You knew the shark was out there and you kept the beaches open and my kid got eaten. It's exactly what happened here. And now they got the pendulum all the way over. Oh, this guy had a freak accident. So they can't play that game anymore. Like that's gonna playing that game is gonna create another one of these freak injuries. But playing all these other games in week 18, that's gonna be okay and beyond. We're good with that. It can only happen in that game. It's ridiculous. So let me see. Raiders 75-28 says, if Stidham balls out again tomorrow, we don't need to draft another quarterback this year. We ride out with him for another season, go full defense in the draft, trade our first pick for more picks to build our defense. It's an option. I mean, Stidham had his chances in Patriot land. Did not look that great. I don't know. I honestly, I feel last week was the play calling. I know a lot of people say, no, that's a cop out. No. I seen it. This is the first week that McDaniels looked like he knew what the hell he was doing. Nice combination of the run and pass, a lot of draw plays, a lot of things to the flat, kept the Niners on their heels for a good 2-3 quarters. They kind of made some adjustments, but still, I mean, you do not score 34 points on a defense like that. Not to take that much away from Stidham. He made some good throws. Granted that. But also Devontae Adams made some hella good plays too. Waller jumping up 20 feet in the air helped. Looked like the line was blocking pretty well for him for the most part, except for Colton Miller. I'm not sold on Stidham. Not to say he's going to shit the bed this week, But even if he plays decently, I have a hard time believing we're going to win this game, to be honest with you, with everything. And now this whole Buffalo thing, KC has a chance now to seize that top spot. What if they win, right? And by some reason, Buffalo gets knocked out in the first round. They play and something happens. Who knows? Maybe they're still reeling from this thing. They're out. Now KC gets home field throughout. And they lost to Buffalo. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's absolutely ridiculous. It almost feels like it's being rigged so that State Farm and Mahomes can get another ring. Remember, they haven't won a ring. They have won one ring, and then they got their asses whipped by Tampa in that defense. And it hasn't happened since. So it's something to keep an eye on, something food for thought. Go ahead.
He's the golden child of the NFL, champion.
Mm-hmm. And he's young. He's
champion.
the new generation.
He's
Brady's on the way out. He might retire, but even if he doesn't, he's old. You got to prop these guys up.
Yeah, Mahomes is the golden child of the NFL, and as I see it, so is there's like a few golden children of the NFL right now. It's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and I would actually throw in Justin Herbert in there as well. I mean, the way that these commentators, and I actually try to take my bias out of it as a Raider fan and just like watch things objectively, but it's actually at times it's absolutely sickening the way that commentators talk about these guys in games, even when they make mistakes. The way that they talk about these players is like absolutely like disgusting. There was a play in a Chargers game. This was probably like a month or so ago, and Herbert actually fumbled the snap and fell on top of the ball. And the commentator was talking about how awesome of a job Herbert did by falling onto the ball. Whereas, let's be honest, if it was Derek Carr, they'd be talking about how shitty he did handling the snap.
Yep, here we go.
So there's a lot of misinformation that's spewed out there.
Yeah. And I got Daddy is back with the milk on the TikTok side. My favorite handle on TikTok. He's here. And DeMar Hamlin is doing better. I'm glad, Daddy says. I'm glad too. I'm not going to say nobody. There's probably a few sickos that are happy, But for the most part, any sane person does not want him to get hurt, or anybody to get hurt and their heart stop and all that. My problem is with the league. If there is a definitive root cause, a reason for it, and they can stop a game or modify a rule, that's great. To me, this was a freak injury. They haven't come out and said anything that, hey, this happened because of this. We're going to change this rule. Because it didn't. Because it's a freak injury. That Buffalo-Cincinnati game needs to be played for the integrity of the league, like you said, and the integrity of the AFC playoffs. Earth Daughter, are you going to put something on your green screen? I did. The issue is I'm having issues with the green screen and my camera interacting with the iPad on TikTok. It's kind of flashing around. I just took it off. We're just going to, you can just feel it's Allegiant Stadium or whatever. So Raider Wolf says, yo, yo, yo. Wolf Claw says scripted BS. It could be scripted and giving a pathway for the Chiefs to win again for State Farm. Raider Wolf says, I think people are way overestimating Stidham based on one game. Agreed. And that defense wasn't prepared for him, considering nobody really had film on him. But that said, if you watch the game, I've watched some more additional film. He made some good plays on that. I can't take that away from him, but it's a combination. He played pretty well at times for the most part. Supporting cast did really well. I haven't seen some of those, especially the offensive line. Darren Waller, oh, he's back. Did he have something against Derek Carr? I don't know. But Foster Moreau, still carrying the ball with two hands. He doesn't know how to run with one hand. I mean, he teaches that in Pop Warner, but played better. Offensive line was, except for Colton Miller, pretty darn good against this defense. Grading on a curve. I'm not going to say they had an A grade. I would give them a B grade, except for Colton Miller got owned by Nick Bosa. Got pushed. That created one of the interceptions, by the way, because I guess Colton Miller isn't big and strong anymore. I think if Nick Bosa beats you around the edge, okay. But to get bull rushed like that, a big mountain of a man like Colton Miller got pushed into Stidham, got hit, didn't get all of it, and it flopped down, got an interception. There's no excuse for that. No excuse whatsoever. And that said, Casey's playing for a mission. I told you guys a couple weeks back, I thought San Francisco would have all their guys in, and Casey, and it's come to fruition. And they're playing for that first pit. They're playing for the first seed. I don't know what's going to happen with this playoff nonsense. But now, to me, Buffalo got screwed over and Cincinnati got screwed over in this deal. And there's some talk about one of the executives for Cincinnati bitching about it, and rightfully so. And same thing for the head coach. They need to replay the game or continue. They'll replay the game. Continue 7-3, the time, the possession, where the ball was, and you go from there. Red Wolf also says, I definitely like him. I like him, but I definitely don't expect him to be our starting quarterback. Neither do I. I think he'll be our number 2 quarterback. He's one of McDaniel's guys. He knows the system. I think that's a given, and he can come in at a pinch. Can he do this for 17 games? I'm not convinced. He can show me and prove me wrong. I'll say it, but he's had his chances in New England. It didn't work out too well. So he's the same guy that got beat out by Mac Jones. Well, I think that's the reason they drafted Mac Jones, right? I mean, first round pick. Why would you do that if Stidham could take the reins? You know, doesn't make any sense. Wolf Claw says, well, now McDaniels is done screwing Carr over. At least he took the playbook out. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel, Wolf Claw. Exactly. I'm going to pin this comment. Let me see. I got to pin this one. Wolf Claw. Well, now McDaniels, we're going to do this because I think Wolf Claw has it right on the money. All right. Al's Ghost is going to head out. He's going to put his comments in the chat. We normally go about an hour anyway, so we're almost at the end of time. Get your votes in. We got 13 votes in. We've got how many views? We've got 32 views. Only 6 likes. Come on, hit that like button on the way out. Same thing over here. We got 300 likes on the TikTok side. Appreciate that. Get a little bit more going on that. Take your final comments, and then we will call this one, and we'll be back tomorrow at halftime to probably complain about a few things, to be honest, because Casey's going to play. They need to play to win. Now they got this opening by the league to get home field. Let's be honest, because they lost to Buffalo already. They have no business getting home field advantage right now. This is bullshit. Also, what happened to all the goofy Raider Wolf? What happened to all the goofy plays during the 49ers game? Where'd the strategy go? Yeah, where are the fake punts at? Where are the triple end arounds? All that nonsense. Solid play calling. It's like night and day. Minute Carr was gone, poof. I know how to call plays now. I'm an offensive mastermind again. Oh, okay. More defensive holding calls during field goal misses. Yeah, but that said, the offense, I have to look up how many penalties. It was less. They played well. The offensive line played much better than they normally play. Even the butt fumble guy was whining that there should have been a holding call on one of the plays on our offensive line. Maybe. That said, I mean, we get screwed all the time on that, you know. Let's see. Yeah, Red Wolf, those were idiot lost plays for McDaniels to finish Carr off and keep him off his game. Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like it. And like I said, Carr had some bad throws in the last few weeks. Let's not take him off the hook or anything, but it wasn't him. They put in Stidham and everything's all great. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. The play calling got better. The other players around the quarterback are playing better now. Let's face it. I mean, I'm not going to say Devontae Adams. Maybe some people might argue that. I would say besides him and Josh Jacobs, rest of the team wasn't doing jack shit on the offense. Let's be honest here. And now they're showing up. Waller's showing up. Foster, Moreau, Mac Hollins was contributing a little bit. I mean, but he's like a number 3, number 4 option at best. So I'm not going to get on him about that. But You know, it's ridiculous. Renfro, hopefully it looks like he's 100% finally. It's a little too late this year, but it is what it is. Why not spoil it? I mean, why tank? Even if the tankers were pro tank at this point, it doesn't matter because we're in the 8th spot anyway. I think we can move up 1 spot at best. The other teams are games ahead of us as far as being shittier, so it doesn't really matter. Let's spoil Casey's party. Why not? Let's see. All right at an hour. We're gonna get the last few comments. I'm gonna close out the voting. So get your votes in right now. We'll get the final tally on that. True story. What's your confidence level in Ziegler? What's my confidence level in Ziegler? I'm gonna wait and see. I said that about Gruden Mayock. I want to see a draft or two. Wasn't very happy. I wanted Damian Pierce, and people are gonna say, "Oh, you're just saying that now." Go back to my videos. Go back to my draft videos. When I did my mock drafts, I would pick Damian Pierce all the time. He ran like a freak. Big, powerful, tree trunk legs. University of Florida. To me, that was the heir apparent to Josh Jacobs. I knew we weren't going to keep Josh Jacobs. Zamir doesn't look like he's ready. The vision's definitely not there. I don't think he's gotten enough reps. I'd like to see some more reps. I mean, we're out of it. What the hell are we doing at this point? I mean, you're going to get quality reps because the Chiefs need to win this game. So, come on, let's show some of these players and see what we got, right? Casey has 16 men on the field, counting the refs. Well, we did go for it. We went for 2 on that play, so we lost by 1. So, it is what it is. Max is playing 96% of the snaps. Bose is playing 70, 1 less game. Well, we need Max. we don't have an Armstead and a Javon Kinlaw because our drafts have sucked ass. You know, we have a Clee Farrell that's supposedly right there with Nick Bosa, a bunch of bullshit that I had to hear after the draft. The idiot Gruden Mayock combo 2 Stooges had to defend their idiotic pick. Obviously, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, and the pudding's made out of shit. So we don't draft well. We haven't drafted well. I'm gonna give this new regime another year. I want to see what we do with the first round pick. Remember, we didn't have picked till the 3rd round, so because of the Devontae trade. So instead of 17, he's played 22, and he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Bosa's doing better stat wise. I don't think Max is that far away. You could also say Nick has a better surrounding cast around him. That helps. That absolutely helps. Chandler Jones was nowhere to be found until that last game or two. He had that freak lateral interception. And then that other game he had 1.5, 2.5 sacks, and then he got hurt. That was it. He's gone. So he didn't do jack shit this year, in my opinion. I think Carr was unable to get in his zone. The lame trick plays distracted from it. Yeah, that's part of it. Carr and Jacobs to Miami. I was saying Carr and Jacobs to the Giants. Danny Dimes is playing like his life depends on it right now, so that might not happen. I could see Jacobs going to the Giants. I don't know if they're going to keep Saquon. Carr, maybe the Jets. We talked about it last week. I put a video out on it as well. Some landing spots I thought so. Red Wolf says, "Hey champ." Let's see. Hey, it's Daddy with the milk. Hang on. Raider Nation 140 is Daddy with the milk. Okay. I like the other name better, but that's cool. Raider Nation. Red Wolf says, "Hey champ, I know you're about to log out, but do you get to this question? Can you please make time to answer? I was wondering if you were thinking we're getting Tom Brady, and if so, do we pay Brady, keep Josh Jacobs, and fix our defense?" Josh Jacobs isn't going to stay. It's not going to happen. I don't think we'd pay him the money that he could get from another team anyway. We didn't do the extension. He's playing balls out. And then him coming out after Carr got benched basically was like a what he was saying was like a big FU to the organization. I give it a 1% chance Josh Jacobs will be a Raider next year. And that's probably being very favorable. Tom Brady, I give it 15-20% chance. He's older. I think if we go after Brady and get him here, we turn into even a bigger circus and freak show. How much can he actually do? What's he done in Tampa this year? Can we talk? He hasn't done jack shit. I think he played decently last week, but he had a string of really shitty games. And, he's got Godwin, Mike Evans. The running game started picking up there. The defense is better than our defense. It's regressed a little bit. I'll give you that. But still better than our defense. So what's Tom Brady going to give us, really? Let's be honest. It's making any sense. I would say Garoppolo would probably be would be better for us. Not to say I want him, than Brady for sure. And I think it's probably a better chance at this point. Carn Jacobs to Tampa. Definite possibility. Carr could go to Tampa for sure. Jacobs, I'm not so sure. I'm still thinking Giants with him because I don't think they're going to keep Saquon Barkley. So we'll see. We got a whole offseason. We can talk about it. Okay. But if we get Tom Brady, how are we supposed to fix our defense? We have to fix it because Tom Brady's never won a Super Bowl without a livery. We don't. We do it through the draft. I mean, we paid a shitload of money to Chandler Jones on a bad contract. We're stuck with that for another 2 more years? We don't. We can't get another high-profile free agent. I was talking about Khalil Mack coming back possibly next year because I think he's due like $23 million next year from the Chargers. I don't think they're going to pay him that. So I was thinking that, but then we got Chandler Jones. We blew all that money. I'd rather have Khalil Mack on the backside of his career than Chandler Jones giving you 1 or 2 good games. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So I don't think we fix it. We build through the draft. That's all we can do. That's another reason why I don't want Tom Brady. I don't want a big name quarterback. If we can get Garoppolo cheap and have him as a placeholder for a drafted quarterback like Richardson or somebody, okay, that kind of makes some sense. But to pay Tom Brady or Lamar Jackson $50 million a year, be freaking asinine. Be asinine. It's not going to help us. I'm not. No, we're not saying go KC. The league has already helped KC enough. That whole situation's a joke. Buffalo is going to lose their top seed because the league is stupid. The league is doing this. It almost feels like they're doing it to pave the way for the Chiefs to get back in that Super Bowl. Because I don't think the Chiefs can beat Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. McDaniels will bring in AB. Stop. Look for A. I mean, AB could be not among us next year. I mean, look the way he's going. Just saying. Catherine says, I'm actually nervous about the game. It's a division game. You should be, because Raiders have nothing to lose. It's a division game. You guys have everything to lose. We have nothing to lose. So what if we lose? I mean, it's not gonna help our draft status to tank it. Maybe one spot with Atlanta or some bullshit, but it's not gonna get us in the top 3 to get one of those quarterbacks. It's not gonna happen. So, be worth ending on a good note. Hopefully another good game from Stidham. Maybe Patrick Graham. Can we please have a defense that kind of halfway shows up? I mean, let's not give Kelsey 4 touchdowns again, please. Please, Patrick Graham. Show me what you got like you did with the Giants last year. I think they want Buffalo to win. It'll be a great story. No, Buffalo. Are they going to ride the injury thing? Maybe. But if that's the case, they'd have them play this game again to get the top seed. And then they can win it for him. So I don't see it. They canceled the game. It paves the way for KC to illegitimately get the top seed because they lost head-to-head to Buffalo. That's the bottom line. So, all right. Prayers for tomorrow, of course. Nobody wants to see that, but they should restart that game because it's vital. It's vital to the AFC playoffs. Let's see. Let's end this poll. What concerns you the most about this game? Patrick Mahomes, half of the votes. To me, I'm riding with McKinnon in the backfield. I think that's going to break our back because we have not shown that we can cover a running back in the flat, cover a running back 5 yards down the field, catching balls. Najee Harris 3 times in a row. That guy's going to get at least 1 touchdown. He's probably going to get 2, maybe 3 touchdowns receiving. Not a big threat running in between the tackles, of course, but we are terrible at that. We're already thin at linebacker, and we couldn't cover before that, so good luck. You know, and Denzel Perryman's gone. He doesn't really cover, but he can stop and hit people. He's gone. I mean, if I'm the Kool-Aid man, that's where I put my offense around is McKinnon. Kelsey's going to get his. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. I've seen him go off, and the games he got 4 touchdowns last game, and they only won by 1 point. So he's not the X factor. McKinnon's the X factor in this game, and we will see tomorrow. So I want to thank you guys for hanging in there. Some YouTube shenanigans again early on. If you've been here this long, especially if you're on a replay, why not subscribe to the channel? Hit the bell notification. Set it to all. You will be notified of my next live stream. It will be tomorrow about 3 p.m. Pacific time. We will be going on at halftime. You want to hear me rant and rave, especially if the Raiders are playing like crap. If Josh McDaniels goes back to his shitty play calling ways, you're going to hear some good stuff. This is going to be our last halftime. Of course, we're not going to get the playoffs. And then Sunday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, we will do our full game review with grades. And then look towards the offseason. A lot of stuff going on. Thank you, Wolfclaw. Thank you for the best comment there. Pinned comment of the night. Thank you for Daddy is back with the milk. Raider Wolf, Catherine, her daughter. Let's see. Got a lot of wolves in here. Got Wolfstan in here. Psycho Jackal was in here in the house. I think he kind of gave up because these crappy ass YouTube. So thank you very much for coming out. I will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, go Raiders.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.